Good day, I'm Andrea Chisholm and this is your Jis News for Thursday, January 9. The harsh historic winter freeze affecting the northeastern United States and Canada should not negatively affect Jamaica's winter tourist season. In fact, Tourism Minister Dr. Wickham McNeil says it could result in increased arrivals to Jamaica as persons flee the harsh weather for the comfort of warmer destinations. He says while there has been a slight fallout from flight cancellations from North America, there should be an upswing in bookings later in the season. In the meantime, Chief Commercial Officer at Montego Bay, Jamaica MBJ Airports Limited, Elizabeth Brown Scotton, says travel is just about back to normal at the Sangster International Airport following weather-related flight delays and cancellations over the weekend. At the Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston, the trend is much the same. Energy Minister Philip Paulwell says significant progress should be made this year towards diversifying Jamaica's energy mix. In an open letter to staff at his ministry Wednesday, Minister Paulwell said he expected construction to begin this year on facilities that would supply Jamaica's grid with clean electricity generated from natural gas, wind and solar. He stressed that when these facilities come on stream, they would help to shape Jamaica's new energy future, relying less on imported fossil fuels. Asserting government's commitment to solving the energy problem, Minister Paulwell said electricity price reduction was the ultimate goal. Approximately 2,500 jobs are to be created through a partnership involving the Agriculture Ministry and the Diageo Group, the parent company for Red Stripe. A lease agreement was signed on Tuesday for 500 acres of land at Bernard Lodge to be put into cassava production. Under the agreement, Red Stripe will train and certify small farmers in best practices for cassava cultivation over the next 5 years, and it will be used as the main ingredient in a new brand of beer.
The spin-offs will be fantastic because the small farmers are going to get on board. Because whatever you do at Bernard Lodge, I know that farmers around the country will engage themselves in trying to lift their production and their productivity.
The procurement process for the building of a factory where brewing of cassava beer will take place has also started. The Agriculture Minister said the initiative fits well with the thrust to reduce the import bill, develop rural communities and provide jobs. More than 1,000 residents in the Dallas Castle area of rural St. Andrew are now better able to withstand the effects of heavy rains with the completion of a new retaining wall and river training project in the community. The project was designed to minimize erosion and flooding in Cane River and other communities in the Dallas Castle area. The $10 million retaining wall and river training project, which was funded by the European Union, directly employed 40 persons. At Wednesday's opening ceremony, EU Head of Delegation Ambassador Paola Amadei said going forward, environment and climate change issues would be the key focal points of its development cooperation programming for Jamaica. The National Leadership Prayer Breakfast Committee has challenged the entire nation to be consistent and continue the process of transformation. The challenge was issued on Tuesday by its chairman, Reverend Dr. Stevenson Samuel. He was speaking at the press briefing for the 34th staging of the annual National Prayer Breakfast set for next week, Thursday.
Leaders of communities must stick with it. Persons who are in media must stay with the process right throughout. We're calling persons to continuity, to continuation. We also want to challenge our leadership by saying that if we're going to have a nation of strength, then there must be reconciliation.
Dr. Samuels also asserted that the annual National Prayer Breakfast continued to be relevant as it helps to unite the country's leaders to aid nation building. This year's theme is Courageous Leadership for Challenging Times. And finally, Mrs. Venice Pottinger Scott has been appointed Director General of Public Sector Transformation and Modernization in the Office of the Cabinet. Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller, who made the announcement by way of a press release on Wednesday, said the appointment would take effect on January 13. Mrs. Pottinger Scott previously served as Assistant Secretary General of the African, Caribbean and Pacific Group Secretariat in Brussels, Belgium, and as Deputy President of JAMPRO. The Public Sector Modernization Division and the Public Sector Transformation Unit will be amalgamated when Mrs. Pottinger Scott takes up her new post. The Consultative Monitoring Group, which has oversight responsibility for the Public Sector Transformation Unit, will be replaced by a new body, the Public Sector Transformation Committee (PSTC). The PSTC, whose members will be announced shortly, will finalize and drive the revised Public Sector Master Rationalization Plan. And that's it for Jis News today. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Thank you for watching.